Hello, welcome to الكرامة News Service. It is 9 p.m. our time for top stories, and we start with the latest developments in Libya. The Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Aguila Saleh Goueder, met with the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Khalifa Haftar, General Chief of Staff Abdelrazak Al-Nazouri, and Parliament member of the Defense Committee Ali Al-Qatrani in Al-Marj. Information Office of the General Command of the Armed Forces reported that the meeting tackled a host of issues topped by current military and political situations, as well as demand introduced by a number of notables in Berga and mayors of its municipalities to speed up the Libyan dialogue, which guarantees a national unity government away from international trustship. Parliament member Musbah Douma called on the deputy head of the Presidential Council for the Eastern Region Ali Al-Qatrani and Minister of State Omar Al-Aswad to provide justification for the suspension of their membership. Douma added that Al-Qatrani and Al-Aswad must introduce a solution away from withdrawal and invisible objections. For his part, Parliament member Saleh Galama said that tomorrow's meeting will discuss the political agreement and consider the national unity government, stressing the Parliament will not vote on government in tomorrow's session. Minister of State and to Libya Martin Kobler tackled the 3 points relating to the suspension of his Presidential Council membership. Al-Aswad noted that Kobler questions focused on reasons behind his suspension, not applying standards and conditions for senior positions and using quotas rather than efficiency. The last point is Kobler's question about the expected position by Parliament towards the government of Al-Aswad. Al-Aswad noted that Kobler said Parliament has national, historical, legal responsibilities to be accomplished for the sake of God and the nation. Head of the Presidential Council of the National Unity Government, Faiz Al-Sarraj, has arrived in Cairo on a several-day visit to Egypt to discuss the latest developments with the Libyan officials. According to the German news agency TPA, sources participated in receiving Al-Sarraj at the VIP hall that said that he will meet during his visit with senior Egyptian officials and some figures to discuss latest developments of the current situation in Libya and means of implementing Sikhirat agreement by all parties in order to realize stability and enable the national unity government to implement its work, get approval by Parliament, and fight against terrorist groups. Spokesman for the Air Force, Nasser Al-Hasi, confirmed that the Air Force jets launched airstrikes on positions of terrorist Daesh group in Bin Jawad area. Al-Hasi noted that raids inflicted heavy losses in lives and material of the terrorists. He noted that MiG aircraft number 21 targeted 15 vehicles of Daesh elements near Nahr company in the region. Terrorist Daesh group has strengthened its grip on the city of Sirte, occupied for more than 7 months. The group implemented new procedures represented by imposing administrative and financial rules, topped by taxes on shops and apartments, and confiscating and stealing them. Moreover, the group continued the series of bloodshed through radio search, which broadcast speeches of terrorist group. A source noted that the group shot dead 2 young men in the city and raided a number of houses downtown. A source said that the oil company's firefighters managed to control the fire that broke out in oil tanks of Al-Huruj company in Al-Hilal al-Nafti area. The source noted that the firefighters managed to put out the flames, but the fire is still light in tanks. The source noted that the fire will finally be extinguished during the next few hours. The source added that the concerned authorities will prepare a special report to limit the damage. And now we transfer my audience to the international items, and our item now from Iraq. Iraq has deployed an armored military divisions and a police strike force into the southern oil city of Basra to disarm residents. Forces are tasked to restore calm to rural areas running north of the city towards West Garna and Majnoon of oil fields. Commander of Basra Operation Command, Major General Abdel Karim Jassim, said that these operations are meant to seize medium and heavy weapons and arrest wanted people whether those charges was criminal charges or terrorism. According to Major General Jassim, the operations were first launched in late December before being posted by an armored divisions and police strike force sent by Baghdad in mid-January after a visit to the city by Iraq's Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi. Jassim said security forces have so far arrested more than 1,000 people on criminal and terrorism charges and seized machine guns, mortars and rocket-propelled grenades. And now we transfer to China. Iran and China agreed to expand bilateral ties to form a comprehensive strategic partnership. President Hassan Rouhani and visiting Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping said, marking a new chapter in bilateral relations. We are delighted to see this trip takes place at a very appropriate historical time in the post-sanctions era, and today we can talk about and sign contracts on issues of mutual interest and reach a final document. Rouhani said at the news conference with the Chinese president, broadcast live on the state television. The Chinese president is the first leader to visit Iran since international sanctions on Iran were lifted on January 16 after it struck a deal with 6 major powers to limit its nuclear program. China was one of the 6 both countries signed 17 accords, including agreement on a revival of ancient Silk Road trade route and cooperation in peace for nuclear energy. Xi Jinping is the first Chinese president to visit Iran in 14 years, according to the Iranian state news agency IRNA. He has visited Saudi Arabia, Egypt as well during a Middle East tour that began on January 19. Thousands of Malaysians gathered in Kuala Lumpur to protest the U.S.-led Trans-Pacific Partnership (TPP) trade deal and urge government to reject the accord in a parliamentary debate next week. The protest, which was organized by local anti-TPP NGOs, saw demonstrators wearing anti-TPP shirts, holding placards and read "No to TPPA" or TPP agreement, and chanting slogans warning the trade deal could erode the country's sovereignty, create more unemployment for Malaysians, and damage the national economy. The protesters then marched to the field near the capital's Independence Square to listen to speeches given by critics of the trade deal. Local police were deployed to the square and the rally was peaceful. The parliament is due to open a debate on January 26-28 on whether to join the trade deal. The U.S.-led TPP, which was reached last October, aims to create the world's biggest free trade area in the Asia-Pacific region. French President François Hollande arrived in India today to attend the Republic Day celebration and hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Counter-militancy measures, Rafale jet deal and International Solar Alliance ISA would top the agenda in the talks with Modi. Hollande said Modi took to social media to welcome the French leader, tweeting, "We are honored and delighted to have him as a chief guest for Republic Day celebrations." A majestic military parade and display of Indian weaponry is held every year on January 26 to observe the day when the Indian Constitution was adopted and the country was declared a sovereign republic in 1950. Speaking to media after landing in India's northern Grenadian city, which was developed by French architect Lee Corbusier, Hollande said India and France were ready to advance their strategic partnership in various fields. Modi and Hollande will jointly inaugurate the interim secretariat of ISA tomorrow in Georgian City, which is located on the outskirts of New Delhi. And now we transfer to immigration crisis. Migrants arrived in Greece as rescue operations continue in the Aegean Sea, following the capsizing of 2 boats which claimed the lives of at least 43 men, women, children, the Resurgent reports. Thousands of migrants arrived on the Greek mainland despite 2 shipwrecks in one day in the Aegean Sea, which claimed the lives of at least 43 people, including 17 children. Among the arrivals, over 2,200 migrants, mostly Syrians, uploading or unloading from this passenger ferry. This comes despite the wintry weather, which caused 2 boats to capsize off the Turkish coast Friday, marking one of the the deadliest day for migrants risking the perilous route from Europe to Turkey. The total number of migrants arriving to Europe by sea surged to about 37,000 in January, usually a slow month due to the bad weather that makes their journey all the more treacherous. My audience, that is the wrap-up of our top stories for today. For much more, you can check our website www.watanilkarama.tv. Thanks very much for being with us. My greeting, رانيا البليدى.